Summary of I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jennette McCurdy. Part 1. Mom's Little Star. Childhood in the Shadow of Dreams. Jennette McCurdy was born into a modest household in Southern California. Her mother, Deborah, was a cancer survivor who poured her unresolved ambitions into Jennette, hoping her daughter would fulfill the dreams she never could. At the tender age of 6, Jennette had her first audition. Though she felt no desire to act, she was desperate to please mother. This pattern of emotional submission became the hallmark of their relationship. Deborah tightly managed Jennette's life. From her diet coin, calorie restriction, to her wardrobe, daily schedule, even bathroom routines, Jennette's body was not her own. Showering with her mother until age 16 and having her weight tracked and controlled taught her early that love was transactional, conditional upon obedience and appearance, despite the instability at home. Hoarding, financial stress, emotional volatility. Deborah created a veneer of purpose through her daughter's Hollywood pursuits. Jennette, ever eager for her mother's approval, swallowed her discomfort and anxiety to become what her mom wanted most, star. Part 2. Rising Fame, Falling Apart. Nickelodeon and the Illusion of Success. Jennette eventually landed breakout role as Sam Puckett on iCarly, Nickelodeon show that became cultural phenomenon. The world saw sassy, funny girl with great comedic timing. Inside, Jennette was spiraling. The stress of the show, the pressure to maintain her thinness, and her mother's suffocating control contributed to severe anorexia. Her mother applauded the weight loss. Every time Jennette dropped pounds, she was told she was doing great. She became addicted to restricting food, gaining false sense of control and superiority through denial. Her identity, wholly wrapped in pleasing her mother and performing for others, began to erode her sense of self. Behind the scenes, the entertainment industry also played a role in Jennette's struggles. Powerful but unnamed figure at Nickelodeon, the creator offered her alcohol as minor. Behaved inappropriately, Jennette hints at exploitation, noting the warped power dynamics and the complicity of adults around her. Part 3. Death, Collapse, and Rebirth. Losing her mother, losing her compass. Jennette's mother was diagnosed with cancer again during her iCarly years. This second bout eventually proved fatal. Despite the years of emotional abuse, Jennette felt devastated. Her mother's death shattered the central organizing force in her life. She had no idea who she was without her mother's voice in her head. In this time of grief, Jennette further collapsed into disordered eating, this time bulimia. Her public image was still bubbly, but her personal life was mess. She turned to alcohol and toxic relationships, desperate for some sense of belonging, some connection that didn't feel manipulative or conditional. Working on Sam and Kat alongside Ariana Grande only made things worse. While Grande's career soared, Jennette felt creatively stifled and ignored. Her resentment, though mostly internalized, added to her spiraling self-doubt. After the show ended, she was offered a large sum by Nickelodeon to stay silent about her experiences. Money she ultimately refused. Part 4. Healing and Honesty. Stepping out of the spotlight. Jennette eventually quit acting. The career that was never truly hers had brought nothing but pain. She entered therapy, which became a turning point. Through it, she learned to identify emotional abuse, name her eating disorder, and set boundaries, even with her memories. Writing became her salvation. She penned essays, did stand-up, and developed one-woman show, all exploring the messiness of her relationship with her mother and her own identity. The title, I'm Glad My Mom Died, is intentionally provocative, forcing the reader to confront the discomfort of trauma without apology or softening. Jennette explains that the title doesn't mean she's celebrating her mother's death, but rather the end of the relationship. It marks the beginning of her autonomy. Her mother's passing, tragic as it was, allowed her the space to finally examine her life and reclaim it. Key themes and insights. 1. Mother-daughter enmeshment. Jennette's mother was both her best friend and her jailer. The memoir lays bare the terrifying intimacy of an enmeshed relationship where boundaries are non-existent. Deborah's love was double-edged sword, wrapped in affection but dripping with control. She says it's love, but it feels like surveillance. This dynamic is portrayed not with melodrama but with sharp clarity and moments of dark comedy that highlight absurdity and horror of her upbringing. 2. The cost of childhood fame. Jennette is brutally honest about the toll of child stardom. Unlike more sanitized celebrity memoirs, she doesn't romanticize fame. For her, it was gilded cage filled with smiling photos, forced performances, and nights of purging and crying in silence. I didn't want to be famous. I wanted my mom to be happy. That simple confession encapsulates the heart of the memoir. Girl's life spent trying to fulfill someone else's dream. 3. Eating disorders and control. Food becomes central symbol in Jennette's life. It is the battlefield where her mother wins and Jennette loses. until slowly Jennette begins to win it back. The book's candid descriptions of eating disorders reveal not just the behaviors, but the internal monologue that drives them. For survivors' humor, despite its heavy subject matter, the book is laced with wit. Jennette's use of humor, dark, self-aware cutting, isn't defense mechanism, it's survival tool. By making the reader laugh, she reclaims the narrative. She's no longer the silent child on TV. She's the sharp observer, the teller of her own truth. Conclusion: The Triumph of Truth. I'm Glad My Mom Died is not typical celebrity memoir. It's coming-of-age story written after the fact. After the trauma, after the fame, after the silence. It's manifesto for reclaiming your life from anyone who ever tried to script it for you. Jennette McCurdy turns pain into prose, grief into comedy, and silence into loud, powerful voice. The memoir isn't just about her mom or acting or even recovery. It's about learning to live on your own terms.